And you see how communication really opens up and brings people together. It really makes a big difference. There are several things that you have to watch for when you speak. Who knows the difference? What is this?
Podium.
Well, no, I think it's a restriction, or is it,
There's a name for this,
Podium.
and everybody calls it a podium, but it's not a podium. It's a lectern. A podium is
Like a
where they
stage.
have a step up.
Stage, yeah.
It's like a stage, and you step up to the podium, and you stand behind the lectern. Common mistake. I made it when I first started, but I always like to throw that out because I know everybody else is going to make it also, so it doesn't make me feel as bad. A couple of things that a lot of people tend to do is hold on for dear life. They come up here and they will not let it go no matter what happens. It's always good to have this as your base, to have it as your platform where it gives you your security blanket. But every now and then, it's okay to step away from the lectern. You can always, and some people will never leave it. They'll always touch it. They're not going to take their hand off it, so they'll stand like this. They'll come around on this side. They're not going to let go of it because they feel like if they let go of it, they're going to float away. But it's not the case. You can let go of the lectern, the podium. You can let go of the lectern. And when you're speaking in public, it's good to move and you get up front and to talk with your audience. Because if I'm coming over here and I'm talking with Harry, and you talk with purpose, it's more effective. And you want to look at the person that you're talking to. You want to be able to move around and have that friendly communication. The reason that I get to this class, Gary asked me to go to lunch. I usually go to lunch with Gary before class. But I decided not to go to lunch because I'd rather get here half an hour early and get to meet you guys. Once I meet you between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, and I get to know your name, I get to chit-chat a little bit and joke around. When I get up behind the lectern where I'm on stage in front of 1,000 people, I feel like I know somebody in the audience. But you're my buddy already. I've already made communication. I already know who you are. I already know what you've done. So it really makes a big difference. Even if you get in front of somebody, if you're an auctioneer and you're opening up an auction house, even if you get, some people are so busy putting all their props together, doing this and doing that, but get out and talk to the people that's getting ready to sell to you. Know them. Hey, what you looking for today? Oh, really? I got something that's right in mind for you. So when you're up there, you can approach that person and look them in the eye and say, you're the one that was looking for that, aren't you? Go up to your chin. But these are the things that you want to do. I've done speeches for thousands of people. And one of the things that help reduce my nerves is to get to know people I'm talking to. I make a friend before the speech. And that buddy is going to be my friend throughout my speech. So when I start getting nervous, I'll look at Greg. I say, hey, Greg, how you doing? There you go, see? And then all of a sudden, that anxiety goes away. The other thing you want to do, as I talked about a little earlier, is you want to have good hand movements. You want to have purposeful hand movements. You just don't want to, some people up there, their hands are just flailing away and they're just moving. But if you're talking, and you're talking specifically to Lori, and you want to look Lori in the eye, and you want to produce some sort of hand motion to Lori or to July. You want to talk with him. You want to say, Barry, I'm really looking forward to meeting your friend. See? These are the kind of things that you want to keep in mind, especially when you're in sales. Because sometimes, many times, people think that people in sales are these cold-blooded people who are just out to get your money. But that's not the key. They're not going to sell it. It's a win-win situation. People usually don't like to be sold. They like to buy things. So it's nice to be able to have somebody buy something from you as opposed to you pushing something down somebody's throat. It's not going to happen. I worked for Xerox, I worked for Honeywell, up in Manhattan. I went to the World Trade Center, and that was my territory. Up and down the One World Trade Center. And you have to make relationships. You have to talk with people. You got to get to know them. I'm a much better salesperson at the age of 60 now because I got world experience. I can talk instead of having to jam somebody down somebody's throat. We're going to get into some evaluations right quick, and then we're going to move into another phase. Lori, first of all, let me share something that each and every one of you did really, really good. I could tell that all of you had great public speaking skills, that this is not your first, use the expression for an auctioneer, not your first rodeo, but you guys all have good eye contact, good hand motion, and nobody, a lot of classes I come in, I've had to tell people to speak up. Speak up, I can't hear you, but that didn't happen here. Everybody had good. You had really good body language. You move your hands, you move your arms, you were introducing and talking with Harry. You gave some good information on her. You had good humor. You stood behind the lectern a little bit, but you moved out to the side. But one of the things I would share, just like I shared before, is I would leave the lecture, and if you're introducing Harry, you would come over here, you would talk a little bit, and you would come over as you're talking to her to make sure that you are addressing what you're talking about. Your voice inflection was good. I did not hear, one of the things I listened for, because I can't evaluate everything, so I'm listening for two things, and I'm watching for two things. I'm listening for ums and ahs. Yeah, well, you know, and, but, so, those are what you call crutch words. When you can't get that next sentence out, and you're trying to figure out how do you do that transition between sentence A and sentence B, most people use. And, well, Perry is, she's a good, and they just go on. And it really, once you start listening for that, it'll wear you out. Because then you'll be watching TV, you'll see these politicians, or you'll see somebody interview, and every word out of the word out of it now is I didn't hear anything, which is really, really good. Perry, quite opposite. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21 ums and ahs. However, you're such a good speaker. You really are. You opened up with a really good story about Lori. You had great eye contact. One of the things, you never left the lecture. You stood right behind here the whole time. Lori, she came over here, she was speaking, I'm not sure which side, but she didn't leave. You stayed right behind here the entire time. But the thing I wrote down here 3 times is that you're a great storyteller, and you had a good opening, you had a good body, and you had a good close. That was really stuck out in my mind. And I'm not sure what it was, but as I was taking the notes, I just caught me. And if I was doing this, I judge contests, speech contests. And as I judge speech contests, I have to be a little bit more attentive. I only got 2 or 3 speakers that I'm judging, so I can take more thorough notes. But that's the one thing, and I'm looking for things that just jump out at me. So that was really good. Good storytelling, you had a good opening, good body, good clothes, and a hell of a lot of ums and ahs. So just watch your ums and ahs. Marley, pretty much with me. You only had 6 ums and ahs. And you got to think about this. You only spoke for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. So if you got 25 ums and ahs in 90 seconds, that's an and ah in every 20 seconds, 15 seconds. And it starts to build up. So if I had 6 ums and ahs in 90 minutes, that's really not too bad. You did really well. You did not stand behind the lectern at all, which was nice. You knew your friend. I mean, you interviewed, you gave a really good overview. And I didn't have any other notes on that other than you didn't stand behind the lectern, you had good eye contact, and you had good handling. You spoke even and smooth, and you didn't look like you were nervous at all. I think that was really good. No real critique or messages for improving. I don't have time to go through all that. I'm just looking for things right now that you can improve on, and you did a really good job. Yeah, Jay, good old Southern boy from Tarboro, North Carolina. I lived in Charlotte for 10, 11 years, and you had excellent eye contact. You had 8 ums and ahs. It was not that bad. Usually I will time these speeches. usually want people to go at least 45 seconds, no longer than 2 minutes. The reason why I time speeches is because you don't want to have run-on conversations with people. You ever get in front of somebody and wish they would just shut up because they just go on. So I try to get everybody into the mindset of getting up, saying what you have to say, and being done with it, and closing, instead of running on and running on and running on. I think you probably made it 60 seconds. You weren't very long, but you were very clear, very concise. Good eye contact. I wrote down here you had good flow to his thoughts. Everything just sort of went together well as you speak, which catches my ear. You never left the lecture. You stayed behind here the whole time, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with staying right here behind the lecture. I'm just saying, if you're doing a longer speech, if you're doing a presentation of any type, you don't want to get yourself stuck behind here because it's a crutch, just like arms and eyes and nose and eyes. You want to be able to move around because it's more natural. You make more contact. You feel more comfortable when you're out in the open and you're talking to everybody instead of standing protecting yourself behind the lecture. Corey?
Craig.
My eyes are really bad. That's what happens as you get younger. You know, they just get worse and worse. You opened up with a really good question, which I really like. Do you know what Jay's favorite color is? Actually, I think Jay Michael's favorite color is.
I kind of like that name.
Jay Michael, that's good.
Stage name.
Yeah, it's
And I thought the answer was even better. Eggplant. Whoever thought of eggplant as being a color? But that's nice. That was very, very, very good way to open up. You got everybody's attention. So when I talk about an opening, a body, and a close, that's a good way. That's a good opening. That's a good catch when you open up. You know, when I give a speech sometimes, I'll tell people, I lived for 2 years in Kabul, Afghanistan, as a private citizen. And right there, that will get people's attention. They'll automatically, you lived in Afghanistan? And then next thing you know, a whole bunch of thoughts that go through people's mind because of what people hear in the media. And then I can go anywhere from there that I want, especially as I talk about building bridges and bringing people together. So it's a great opening statement. So a good opening statement is really critical. You have a good sense of humor. And I can see him right now laughing with his buddy over there.
I'm saying, yeah, then it crashed and burned.
No, you had a good sense of humor. You had great eye contact. You could move around a little bit more, just like everybody else. There were a couple who didn't stand behind the lectern and did very well. But you stayed pretty much in the place. And you had 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 ums and ahs. Wow. And most people don't even realize that they are saying and
I'd have guessed maybe 6.
23. Wow. I have a gentleman at work who I'm trying to break. I'm training a lot of young folks on my team to be construction managers. David being one. He's one of my junior guys who is now turning out to be one of my best right-hand men. He's never worked on a construction site before. And brought him on about a year and a half ago. And he's turning out to be fantastic. But he has certain crutch words that I had to break him on, such as...
I suppose.
Everything I would say, I said, David, could you do this for me? I suppose. You better not suppose, you better say yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely is another good one. I have another guy who works with me. Before everything he says is so. So. I said, look, get rid of the so. So, I just said it just now. As you're training people, as you're talking, you have to watch for these things. 20, 23 ums and ahs is a little bit more than I like. 5 or 6, I can deal with. And start listening to people who you're talking to. See how many they're making. Watch TV. See how many, when you're watching the newscasters or somebody being interviewed, how many ums and ahs that you'll start hearing. You'll really start getting them. And last but not least, Valerie. I wrote two things here. I didn't catch any ums and ups. I said, great smile and good storytelling. And I think that happens because one of the things I'm going to get into in a minute, we're going to go through this, we haven't even opened this yet, but I'd rather talk with you and have this kind of class, because I think you can learn more than going through a written word. But one of the things I was going to talk about is being a good storyteller is what any salesperson is really, is knowing your topic. The better that you know your topic, the more comfortable you are. The more comfortable you are, the smoother you're going to be. So, you knew Craig.
Exactly.
Yo, we're buddies.
Yeah.
You've been friends for, what, 10, 15, 20 years? 22 years. So for you to get up and sell Craig, he was so smooth about it. You didn't have any ums, you didn't have any ahs, because you didn't have to think about it. It just came naturally because you were speaking about something that you knew so near and dear to your heart. And that makes a big difference. When I'm doing a big presentation, or I'm doing a speech, a keynote speech, talking to children in the high school, or talking to a group of senior executives, I make sure that I know my topic well. I practice that speech over and over and over again. So I am not literally rehearsing and reading the speech. I want to be able to talk. I want to be able to speak from the heart. And the better you know it, the better you can do that. So I practice as I'm driving to work, if I'm in the shower, people see me talking to myself in the car. I'll go to the beach and go to an end where nobody's there, and I'll just be talking to myself where nobody can see me until I have it so naturally that if I make a mistake, nobody knows. I might have a speech written out so perfectly, and I might leave out two of the key sections that I wanted to have in there, but nobody knows but me. So I don't even let it bother me. I get mad when I review it afterwards. Like David tapes my speeches, and I go back and I critique myself. That's the only way you're going to get better. So always critique yourself. These critiques are just to make you get better. They're not to knock you down. But I just want to make sure that you're becoming more aware of certain